What's up everybody, and welcome back to Outdoor Gear. Today we're going to review something that I think is very useful to any hunter out there, whether it's deer, turkey, waterfowl, whatever you like to go after. This is going to be something you'd like to keep in your arsenal. A floating gun case. Now if you're not a waterfowl hunter, maybe you don't think you need it. However, these are great cases generally because they're padded, they're water resistant or waterproof, and they float, which we'll find out whether or not that's true. But they're great. I use them all the time. I won't leave the house without my firearm inside of one, simply because it keeps it protected. I don't have to worry about it getting scratched up, anything like that. And then I don't have this big, bulky plastic case I have to carry. So let's get into it. Today we have the Drake gun case, floating gun case. It's side opening. And Drake typically makes pretty good stuff. But we'll see what it's like. Let's open it up. I have my personal preference on gun cases, so we'll see if this meets what I like and what I don't like. Alright, nice Velcro strap on the back here is good. You can either slide your gun right in or out, or it looks like you can open up the side here and put it in that way, which is actually decent. I don't know how it's going to hold up with the water getting in, but we'll get to that part later. However, a lot of times when you're sliding your gun in, I've noticed that your choke tube, if it's an extended choke tube, you've got your little divots where you can screw it in. You could use your wrench. If you're pushing that through, it catches this material here and it'll rip this material, which this feels pretty solid. I don't think that you're going to rip it if you slide it in or out. But overall, I don't really like this feature of the Velcro, simply because I want to slide mine in, and if it drops in water or water gets around it, I don't want that water to get through this Velcro area. But we'll see how that holds up. Overall, not bad. It's got a button down here if the Velcro seems to not hold. It's in max 5, depending on your preference. Depends on what you like, but it's got good heavy padding, it feels like. We'll do some more testing with that. The material is, I guess, nylon. It's got a pouch on the back here where you can put some shotgun shells, you can put your choke tubes. Typically these don't hold a lot. Shotgun shell or choke tubes, that's all you really need to put in there. Got your sling. And Drake, you know, they're pretty good. Drake makes good products, in my opinion. I don't use a lot of Drake products, but I have. Just switched over to different things for my own personal preference. Looks like this retails for $40, $39.99. Probably pick it up from most places, but let's get into some testing, because that's the fun stuff when we're really here to see. Alright, so maybe one of our first tests will be with the strap. You know, it seems pretty sturdy. If I try to pull on it, it doesn't really come off. Oh, there it goes. But that seemed to be just a breakaway from the bindings here, but it ripped a little bit there. So the stitching comes out, no big deal. See how this one does. Maybe you get caught on something, you fall down and it catches a limb and it jerks it up, comes off. You know, is that realistic if you catch a limb? I think so. But case is still fine. Still got your handle. You can carry it that way. So depending on how you feel about that. But I was kind of expecting to hold up a little bit better than that. You know, if it's on your back or something, you're carrying it like that, the likelihood that it's going to get caught on something and break like that is pretty slim. But if it catches a limb and it snags you and you fall down, the limb pulls back, you never know. It could rip it off there. June, come here. Say you got a puppy or something, you leave the case in the truck while you go hunting. Decides it becomes a chew toy. Fetch. Get it. Leave it. Alright. That actually held up better than I thought it was. She didn't puncture it by any means. So that's good. That seemed to work out fine. Let's see if this gets caught on anything. If it gets caught and pulls off. That pulled right off. That was super simple to pull off. Yep. Stitch just comes right off. There goes that piece. So stitching wise, I feel like they probably could have done a little bit better on that. You know, that's super simple. That's not going to last you even, I mean, if you pull on it and it came off just like that, that wasn't much pressure on there, you know? So, I feel like they could have been done better with that. All right, we're back at the handy dandy pond here, and we've got these 2 old BB guns that we're going to use to put inside the case today to see how they hold up, how it protects, if it floats, all that nonsense. So, we'll get them in there and see what the water looks like. For some people that may like that. I don't like that. This doesn't seem like it's going to hold up too well to water. You know, if you have a bit bulkier firearm, it kind of bulges out, but most people are just going to put a shotgun in there. It's going to be kind of thin. All right. They're in there pretty good. Let's say it goes in the water. Hey, it floats. It's in there. Get my handy dandy hook to help me out. See if we can sink it. Bounces up pretty good. So it's floating, you know. It's doing its purpose. It's fulfilling its name. If I push it down, it bounces back up. It's not holding any water. If I hold it underwater, it seems to be alright. But if your firearm goes over the boat, it's floating. How long will it float? Don't know. But it seems buoyant. It doesn't seem like it's taking in too much water. I guess in the same aspect where if the water can get in, it's not going to hold the water in. You know what I mean? It's going to get in, get out. It's not going to absorb every bit of water. But it floats. Seems taking on some water. It's pretty heavy now. But let's get that out of there. So obviously, it took on some water here, which is to be expected. Pour all that out. Like I said, these aren't necessarily made to keep your firearm dry when it falls overboard. They're made to, you know, float. Once you be able to recover it if it falls over, all that jazz. But it's wet. The inside is wet. You definitely have to dry it out. You know, wood, one that's wraps around the base, doesn't have this Velcro on the side, do better? I think so. I think this Velcro is really kind of biting you in the butt here and allowing more water in a quicker amount of time than if you had it just the butt here, some wrap around the back here. It wouldn't allow it in as quickly if you were able to recover it quicker. But if it's going to sit in the water, it's definitely going to take some water on. It's going to absorb it in the material, and it's going to get on your firearm, and your firearm's going to be more wet, I think, than if it was closed off through here with that Velcro. So I don't like the Velcro. If you like the Velcro, that's great. If you need quicker access, you have a harder time getting your firearm in and out, that's one thing. But if you're going waterfowl hunting, you want the most protection for your firearm, keep it dry, all that. So that's the downside of my book. Let's go on to the next thing. Alright, let's try a pretty standard test here. Gun falls off the truck, buddies don't see it, comes a speed bump. Got those 2 little BB guns in there. Will they hold up? Maybe. There's metal on them. Should give us a good indication on whether or not your gun is going to hold up to it. Did y'all feel that? That was weird. Hold on. Don't know. Ooh, that sounded good. Ooh, like toothpaste. Wonder how that's gonna look. Ooh. Well, not too many tests to do. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This is a crucial item for anybody that is, I believe, a hunter or a shooter in general. Floating gun cases in my opinion, are easy to carry, lighter, less bulky. They have pretty good protection. It's just overall a good thing to have if you are a shooter or a hunter. I mean, my firearm goes into a floating gun case if I'm going turkey hunting, deer hunting, duck hunting, does not matter. It keeps it safe with keeping the bulk down, and I can throw it over my shoulder and I can hike through the woods, whatever. I don't have to carry it. It's pretty straightforward. There's lots of great options out there. Excuse me, it's hot. There's lots of great options out there. And Drake makes a good product on a lot of things. This, however, in my opinion, is not the best option. We started off talking about this flap here. If you're not going anywhere near water, maybe this is a good option for you. You know, you just lay your gun down and open up the Velcro. You know, if you have a scope or an optic or something on top of your firearm and sliding in and out may affect it, or you want this case specifically and your shotgun has a choke tube at the end of it that has the notches that may catch, then maybe you like the Velcro, and that's up to you to decide. However, I hate it. I think it lets more water in quickly if it falls off the boat. And overall, I just don't like it. I don't like the design. I like to be able to slide it in, close off the end, wrap it up, and go. That's just me. So, like I said, this material on the inside here ripped from running it over and being punctured. And actually, this was probably about the middle of the BB guns. So what punctured it, I'm not quite sure, but it went all the way through. I mean, we ran it over a few times. We did our due diligence to cause harm to this, and it worked. I mean, there's a hole in it. Obviously, there goes your protection right there. That's all the way through. Now your firearm is exposed to anything. These straps being sewn in, I mean, this one's hanging on barely. If I can get a good grip on it, it might come off, but the strap came off right away with pressure, but not enough pressure, in my opinion, to really do that much damage. The pouch for your extra casings, shotgun shells, casings, whatever you want to put inside of it, that tore off with ease. You know, we're trying to abuse it in a sense to make it, you know, fall apart, but this fell apart quicker than I thought it would. Like I said, it got wet on the inside from going in the pond. Of course, I dunked it, but if it falls in the water, this is not sealed. I want something that is sealed up here, in my opinion. If you don't care, great. But MSRP on this, at least on Amazon, shout out to Amazon, $40. I think for $40, if you're going to spend that amount of money on a floating gun case, get one that seals up here. If you really like Drake and you want to run Drake, that's all you want to do is Drake, 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 great. There's nothing on here that says Drake now because it ripped off. That's just saying. So, I would personally say get one that closes. Don't get a side opening one. There's no point to it. It kind of defeats the purpose of the floating gun case because it gets wet quick. But it floats. So it does its job. That's up to you to decide if you like it or not. However, I do not. I've had to scale this from a scale of 6. I give it 2. It floated, great. It protected the gun inside, great. However, I don't think it's a very good product. I think it's got flaws. I think the side is the flaw. I think it punctured pretty easily by the piece of metal and then ripped. And the handle coming off, this coming off, the material on the inside being a factor where I think it would rip easily. 2 out of 6. That's my opinion. But if you don't care and you want Drake, go ahead and buy it. I don't think it's a good purchase, in my opinion. So, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you stick around for more stuff coming out. We're going to try to keep the ball rolling on this, figuring out our time frames, getting content out for you guys. Comment, subscribe, let us know what you want to see, and all of that jazz. Thanks for watching.